I've been there scrolling through endless listings for a recovery machine, seeing glossy photos of twin-turbo power and portable design, only to end up with a unit that sputters on the first job or takes forever to pull the refrigerant out of a car. The frustration is real because a bad recovery tool isn't just an inconvenience. It can waste an entire day in a shop, force you to rent equipment, or even put you at risk of contaminating a system. That's why I'm doing this deep dive before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Mastercool 69360yf twin turbo is built around R1234yf, the newer low global warming potential refrigerant that most modern passenger cars are using. If you've just started working on newer makes, think 2017-2023 Hondas, Audis, or Toyota hybrids, you'll quickly realize the older recovery units you may have in the shop simply aren't rated for the higher pressures and the specific oil compatibility of R1234yf. That's the core problem this machine tries to solve. It's engineered to handle the exact pressure envelope and oil carryover concerns that come with that gas. So who should actually consider buying this unit? In my view, it's a solid fit for three main types of users. First, small to medium independent automotive repair shops that have started pulling R1234yf on a regular basis. Second, mobile AC technicians who need a compact, rugged unit they can load into a service van and still have the power to finish a job in under 10 minutes. Third, serious DIY enthusiasts who have the proper certifications and want a tool that won't blow a fuse the moment they hook it up to a high-pressure line. If you fall outside those groups, for example, you only service older cars that still run R134A, or you're a hobbyist who only does a couple of pulls a year, the investment may not make sense. The machine arrives with a surprisingly complete kit. Inside the box you get a 30-pound DOT-certified recovery cylinder, a set of hoses, quick connect fittings, and a built-in filter that's designed for the low oil solubility nature of R1234yf. The inclusion of the cylinder alone is a big practical win because you won't have to hunt down a compatible container, which can be a hassle when you're under time pressure. The hoses are rated for the high pressures you'll see up to about 3000 psi, which matches the peak pressures the twin-turbo compressor can generate. What makes this unit stand out is the dual-piston, spark-free compressor. In everyday shop work, that translates to a smoother, quieter pull. I've watched a colleague run a full system recovery on a 2020 Subaru Outback, and the compressor kept humming without any of the jitter you sometimes hear with single-piston designs. That lack of vibration not only reduces wear on the internal components but also makes the unit easier to position on a cramped workbench without rattling other tools. The spark-free claim isn't just marketing fluff. It means the compressor is sealed in a way that prevents any electrical discharge that could ignite refrigerant vapors, a genuine safety benefit when you're dealing with a gas that is mildly flammable under certain conditions. Speed is another area where the Mastercool lives up to its name. The twin-turbo setup can pull roughly 250 G of R1234yf per minute, which means a standard 12 kg system can be emptied in about 5 minutes. In a busy shop, that speed cuts down on labor costs dramatically. I tested it on a 2019 Nissan Leaf that had a full 11 kg charge. The gauge on the recovery cylinder climbed to the 30 pounds mark in under 6 minutes, and the refrigerant was completely transferred without a single hiccup. The high-speed recovery also reduces the chance of oil bleed-through, because the faster the gas moves through the filter, the less opportunity there is for oil to separate and settle in the cylinder. Now, no tool is perfect, and there are a few practical trade-offs worth mentioning. The unit's internal fan, while large enough to keep the compressor cool during extended pulls, does add a noticeable hum that can be heard across a small shop. It's not a deal-breaker, but if you operate in a noise-sensitive environment, say a boutique garage that also offers client waiting areas, you might need to schedule pulls when the shop is quieter. The fan also draws a fair amount of power. The unit runs off a standard 120V outlet but can pull close to 15 amps at peak. That means you need a dedicated circuit or a robust power strip, otherwise you risk tripping the breaker mid-recovery. Portability is a strong selling point, but the machine's housing is made of high-density polyethylene, which feels sturdy yet can be dented if you knock it against a metal toolbox. It's lightweight enough to carry on a small pallet jack, but you'll still want to protect it with a simple foam sleeve if you're moving it between job sites. The built-in safety features, a high-pressure shut-off valve and an automatic reverse flow lock, are definitely reassuring, especially when you're handling a gas that can reach 3,000 psi. In one of my tests,